Hey everyone, Eric with Rockin' H. In this video, we're going to talk about how Brett's truck was made. Now, this is a Nebraska farm rig and was a lot of fun to do. What you have here in front of you is a Diecast Promotions T800 with the air cans and short sleeper. This is a pretty standard type of deal here. Nothing too fancy about it. We have two-tone paint. We have Radiant Fire Metallic on the fenders and silver over the rest of the cab. Pretty sexy. I mean, just the color combo. This is a really clean looking rig in real life, and here's a photo of it for your reference. What we have here is a standard strip down and repaint. The fuel tanks were masked here on these straps on the tanks and then painted to match the top of the cab and the fenders. A tag axle, actually the tag axle came on the truck, but it wasn't a standard tag axle like you see here. It wasn't the short one or small one. It was a larger one, about the same diameter as these rear tires. That was traded out for the smaller one, and then fenders to match over the tag axle. One thing I did do was added some washers between these wheels and the frame just to spread that out a little bit more, or else it would have been really narrow. And to me, that doesn't look quite right. Also added washers up here to spread out these front tires underneath these fenders. If you don't put those washers in here from the factory, when you add these regular steer tires like this, those, I mean, you can see you're going to lose, I mean, that's dang near 1/8 of an inch that those are going to be underneath that fender. To me, that just looks kind of weird and doesn't look like it does in real life. Screws to hold this hood on, nothing fancy there. Decals, of course, to match the real truck. One thing that was kind of fun to do, I've never done this before. I mean, this is, the top of the sleeper is painted to match the rest of the cab. And there is a line, when you get one of these sleepers, there's going to be a tiny little line. You can mask right up to this line that goes all the way around here, and then match it all the way around to get that similar look like you see on this truck, which was kind of cool. And it just looks really, really awesome, I think. I did use a Kenworth W900 drop visor to better match the real one. So this is not a T800 visor. This is for another model of truck, and this was the W900. I sell these in my store if you want them. There were 9 square cab lights going across the top, which have been added to the top of that roof cap. Those I also sell in my store, along with these fenders and tag axle adapters. FYI. The other thing here that was kind of fun to do is this trailer. Now, you might be, it's just a grain trailer, right? Well, that's true. But I couldn't find one that was silver or aluminum colored. I did actually have some that were black, but I went and looked online before I did this. I went shopping for one that was actually silver, couldn't find one. They did make a belt trailer, which you could swap out all the parts, but I didn't want to buy 2 trailers. So instead, I basically took this tarp off, and the tarp hooks here, took those off. I took the rear wheels off, and then these end caps, a little knife in between the plastic here and the die cast, and those pop out on both sides. And then all I did was took some small 1/8 inch masking tape and masked this stripe right down here below the DOT tape, masked that off on both sides, and then I painted it aluminum. Entire truck, or trailer, excuse me, was all black. The inside was black, down the side, all this plastic down here was black, and to match his trailer, I just used aluminum paint, and it worked so well. Now, why did I use aluminum? Because for some reason, that aluminum paint just seems to cover everything. It doesn't matter what you put it on, what's been done to it before. You shoot aluminum over it, and bam, it just covers well. And you don't need a lot of it to make it look thick either. I mean, because sometimes some paints, if you spray over existing paint, it looks thick. It looks kind of just thick. It's the only way I can explain it. Well, I mean, just with a modest amount of aluminum paint, bam, covered all that black all over the place, and you just don't see it, and it really looks pretty cool, like the real truck. I pulled tape off the side so you kind of retain some of that factory looking color right here along this lower edge, and then added DOT tape down the sides, and wham, that thing was done. Took less than an hour to do, and it just gave it a nice little look. So if you're needing to do that, to paint a trailer, that's one way to do it and give it a whole different look without spending a lot of money or time. So overall, Just a great looking Nebraska farm rig. I'm really excited to get this in his hands. This goes in the mail today, and he will have it this week to enjoy for a long time. If there's anything you want to learn about how to modify DCP trucks like this, go to rockinhtv.com. And then, of course, all these parts and different things are in my store, rockinhfarmtoys.com. Thanks for watching.